Okay, welcome to Master Pierce, Wellington. Out in front of the store we keep a TV, goes through a slideshow, jewelry, piercings that we've done. Come inside. This is our store. Okay, over here is where we call it the education station. This is where we'll take care of our clients and make sure they understand what they're doing. And of course, as you can see, we have these signs all over the store. Do not touch or remove your jewelry in studio. If you need assistance, we will help you. So this is where we do our education stuff. We'll teach our client how to handle their jewelry, do's and don'ts, help people with things like consultations and stuff by doing markings and whatnot. So this is really good for that kind of stuff. A couple extra supplies over here. And then of course, more cleaning stuff. Over here, we're going to keep all of our jewelry in display cases. They're going to be locked from the side, opened out towards you, everything pulls out, and everything's in an appropriate display, of course. On the counter here, of course, we have our register. We have a stock of jewelry. We're going to see industrial strength, neo metal, SM316, and Anata metal, all down here. Now, all these will be stored in bags and hopefully not spilled everywhere. If they get spilled, we clean them up, of course. And jewelry is not handled without gloves, which we keep over here conveniently. Tends to make things easier. So anytime we're handling jewelry, gloves are a must. Of course, we have our register and all that good stuff. As far as aftercare goes, we do keep a couple products around, and we do keep our own aftercare pamphlet as well. So a bunch of good stuff there. Then we of course have our exhibit, just things that we've collected that are relative to piercing, I suppose. Good stuff. And then over here, this is our waiting area. This is basically where clients can wait and hang out. As far as eating and taking breaks, staff here at Master Pierce tends to use the cafeteria or the food court in the mall. This is our wall of first-timers. All of our clients who have received their first-time piercing is going to be signing this and dinging a bell. Kind of a welcome to the modified community. Of course, a backup register. Back here, we do a lot of dry storage, so we do keep a lot of our stuff stored, trying to keep everything off the ground, shelving. We're turning it into Kayla's office so she can do her orders, so she can get some peace and quiet. And then this way we go into the room. Okay, so in the piercing room, we're going to keep our stock up here. Actually, have it come over here. We're going to go through some of these drawers real quick. Of course, we have our Statum, hangs out here. Now, we have two cassettes. One cassette is where we're going to store actually a lot of our receiving tubes, as well as our transfer pins or tapers or whatever it is you're using, small things. They usually live in one of these. And then we have another one that we will use to actually build a setup on. Most of the things we'll need for our setups are going to be usually over here. You're going to have your integrator strips, your sharps, some blanks. We keep some pins over here, or the needle blanks, the transfer pins that way, and of course some pre-packed, pre-sterile needles. We're keeping iodine here. We're keeping our non-sterile gauze here, and then our sterile cotton tipped 6-inch wooden handled applicators, cotton tipped applicators. Clean storage, so basically everything needs to be terminally sterilized and then transferred here at minimum with freshly washed and gloved hands. Yes. And then down here, and I keep some extra supplies. We're running a little low on some wipes, but those should be on the mail on the way soon. And then of course over here, we're going to keep our marking devices, single use, jewelry bags, and then we're going to keep a lubricant here, our alcohol swabs, and then larger tapers or not as commonly used tapers. They usually end up over here, bagged and stored after being terminally sterilized, of course. And then we have, we keep some of our biopsies over here, snips, some wire, things of the sort, extra gloves, some bags, and then we get an empty drawer, and then we keep some trash bags over here. As far as all this goes up here, we're keeping a lot of this the same way as like up front. We're keeping it bagged in the back and then labeled. So yeah, we keep everything separated. We've got all of our little options. Of course, single-use masks. We practice what we preach, so we use the Neomed wound wash back here in the booth. Biotene, usually to kind of show people what it is or to educate them as to an alternative for mouthwash for daily cleansing of the oral cavity. We're using a Listerine for an oral prep. Yeah, so then let's see here, cups, whatever. This here, trash cans are kind of neat. They open up all on their own. And of course, we have our tray. Over here, we have all of our, this is our red zone. We keep our sharps here, of course, biohazard bins here for any user-contaminated instruments. And then our red trash here, which I've turned off at the end of the night, but it usually operates by motion as well. Then we keep our waste down here from our Statum. And if you'll flip around over here, this is going to be our medical examination table. Over here we keep our steriles, quick access. Down here we do keep some additional supplies, including integrator strips, more usually dry stuff other than the lube and the alcohol here. Other than that, it's more OP marks, gauze, dental bibs, things of the sort. And then if you'll come with me this way, show you the bathroom real quick. This is an employees only bathroom. Being in a mall, we're not required to have a bathroom for our customers, for our clients, but this is our bathroom, so definitely does its job. And then of course we keep any certificates, any extra certifications, whatever on the wall displayed as required by law. More aftercare pamphlets. And then in here, come with me, it's going to be where we process anything in our hand washing station as well. So over here, let's start this way. We of course have our hand washing station, clearly defined. Let's see. Paper towel dispenser, of course, trash can, sink. Pretty self-explanatory right now. Until we get the foot water mixer, we are using the elbow method. And then demonstration on how to properly wash your hands in case somebody forgets. Over here, we do have our tool processing section. This is going to be our sink where we are going to scrub anything that needs to be scrubbed, obviously. We have our tray over here, hydrum over here. We store, these are going to be red bags for our red trash. This is going to be the liquid for the hydrum. A couple bottles of distilled water there as well. And then over here, we do keep our ultrasonic in case something goes on here. So we have a backup method. Now, we're going to also keep our sterilization equipment here. The Tutner is going to be over here. The anodizer, hinged instruments. If we need to, we'll do an unwrap cycle in the Tutner to sterilize it before moving it to clean storage. Anything porous, hollow, like receiving tubes, blanks, or anything like that, mostly tapers, we will move them over to the Statum because, as we know, it does its job a little better. Extra things, seals for cassettes, extra anodizing stuff, things of the sort. Let's flip this guy. We have a toolbox down here. We got a lot of empty drawers, and then we also have a bunch of extra instruments that were kind of left over in large gauge, non-purpose tapers, I suppose. Things to get rid of. And then, of course, some more just random odds and ends. Let's see more just random stuff. None of this stuff is even being used. This is a lot of old stuff that needs to be transferred out of here, as a matter of fact. And then a backup ultrasonic as well. So, we're in the process of changing all that. Now this is where our red trash goes. Off the floor so it doesn't get wet when it's mopped. Yeah, it does its job pretty well. And then we have some more gauze and it looks like sterilization pouches, which we normally don't use unless we are sending them out the door with somebody, as I don't like sterilizing things every 30 days. And then up here, of course, we have some water, some distilled water. Up top, DVR security system, printer, so a bunch of catalogs and stuff that probably aren't very useful at the moment. Set out this way. And that pretty much covers our shop. So yeah, actually could do a 360 rotation, let them kind of see everything in the booth. And that's what it is. Thanks, guys.